Citizens complaint. So what is a citizen's complaint? So pertains to any complaint initiated by a private citizen or his duly authorized representative on an account of an injury, damage, or disturbance sustained due to an irregular or illegal act committed by a member of the PNP. So if you feel na parang nababastusan ka sa ugali ng isang pulis or di naman kaya is hindi mo gusto yung asal niya and hindi ito akma sa kanyang profesyon, and or halimbawa is nasaktan ka niya, or may mga property ka na nasira dahil sa kapabayaan niya or sa illegal act niya, tapos in-report mo ito, that is a citizen's complaint. So there are 3 disciplinary authorities for citizens complaints. First is the chief of police, second is the municipal or city mayors, and third is the People's Law Enforcement Board, or what you call PLEB. Pare-pareho yung tatlo na ibinibigay ng punishment. Word offense is punishable by withholding of privileges, restriction to specified limits, suspensions or forfeiture of salary, or any combination thereof. Pero yung hindi lang nila pagkakapareho is yung mga period nila. Period ng parang parusa. So sa chief of police is a period not exceeding 15 days. So yun na yung pinakamababa. And sa municipal mayors naman is a period not less than 16 but not exceeding 30 days or 1 month. And sa pleb naman, ito yung pinakamahaba kasi a period exceeding 30 days or worse, dismissal.
Breach of internal discipline refers to any offense committed by a member of the Philippine National Police involving and affecting order and discipline within the police organization. Tumutukoy sa anumang pagkakasala na ginawa ng isang miyembro ng Philippine National Police na kinasasangkutan at nakakaapekto sa kaayusan at disiplina sa loob ng organisasyon ng pulisya. Sa panahon ngayon, maraming pulis ang nasasangkot sa mga nangyayaring krimen at hindi na nila nagagawa ng mabuti ang kanilang trabaho para maglingkod at protektahan ng ating bansa. Ang halimbawa nito ay si Police Staff Sergeant Jonel Nuesca na bumaril sa mag-inang Gregorio sa Tarlac. Minor offense shall refer to any act or omission not involving moral turpitude but affecting the internal discipline of the Philippine National Police and shall include but not limited to. Ito ay mga mas mababang opensa na tumutukoy sa isang gawa o misyon hindi kinasasangkutan ng moralidad ngunit nakakaapekto sa panloob na disiplina ng Philippine National Police. Ang minor offense ay isasama ngunit limitado sa mga ito. Una ay simple misconduct or negligence. Hindi mabuting pag-uugali o kabigo ang pangalagaan ng wasto ang isang bagay. Pangalawa, insubordination. Hindi pagsunod o pagtangging sundin ang isang utos. Pangatlo, frequent absences or tardiness. Madalas na pag-absent o pagka-late sa trabaho. Pang-apat, habitual drunkenness o pagiging lasinggero. At panghuli, gambling prohibited by law o pagsusugal na pinagbabawal ng batas.
So let's go now to disciplinary authorities for breach of internal discipline. So first question. So what is breach of internal discipline? So simple meaning of breach of internal discipline is it refers to any offense committed by a member of the PNP affecting order and discipline within the police organization. So from the root word to discipline or discipline. So dinidisiplina dito yung mga PNP members who committed any offenses. So dinidisiplina din sila within the police organizations. So second question, what is the rule in dealing with breach of internal discipline? So in dealing with breach of internal discipline, including minor offense committed by any member, the duly designated supervisor or equivalent officer of the PNP shall, after due notice and summary hearing, exercise disciplinary powers as follows. So before I continue what I said or what I read, I will explain muna yung sinabi ko kanina. So ang sinabi lang dito sa part na to, um, kung sino man yung naka-designate na supervisor or equivalent officer of the PNP, or sabihin na lang natin yung pinakamataas uh, sa isang station ng police, siya yung mag-i-impose ng punishment or exercise disciplinary powers sa PNP member o sa uh, hawak niyang PNP member na nag-commit ng any offenses. So, siya yung magdidisiplina doon. So, siya yung magbibigay ng or mag-i-impose ng exercise disciplinary powers. So, yun lang yung ibig sabihin nun. So, kung sino man yung nakadesignate na supervisor or equivalent officer of the PNP, siya yung mag-i-impose ng or mag-exercise ng disciplinary powers. So, there are 4 disciplinary authorities for breach of internal discipline. So, the Chief of Police, the Provincial Director, the Regional Director, and the Chief of the PNP. Pero magsisimula tayo sa Chief of Police. So, sabi dito, the Chief of Police may impose the administrative punishment of admonition or reprimand, restriction to specified limits, withholding of privileges, forfeiture of salary or suspension, or any combination of the foregoing for a period not exceeding 15 days. So, sabi dito, lahat ng administrative punishment sa Chief of Police ay di mag-i-exceed ng 15 days. So, sabi dito, the supervisor equivalent to a Chief of Police is the officer in charge of the police station, the district commander of the PNP mobile force, or any other officer classified as such by the commission. So, sa ano naman tayo? Sa provincial director. So, the provincial directors, so, may impose the administrative punishment of admonition or reprimand, restriction to specified limits, withholding of privilege. So, pareho lang sila sa Chief of Police, pero ang pinagkaiba lang nila yung administrative punishment nila ay sa Chief of Police ay for a period not exceeding 15 days. Sa provincial director naman, directors naman ay foregoing for a period not exceeding for 30 days. So, in addition to provincial director, the supervisor equivalent to a PNP provincial director is the head of the regional mobile force, the head of the regional unit of administrative and operational national support unit, the director of police district office, or any other classified as such by the commission. So, let's go now to the police regional director. So, ang administrative punishment ng regional directors ay pareho lang sa Chief of Police at saka sa provincial directors. Kasi ang pinagkaiba lang ay ang period of days or the foregoing for a period not exceeding 60 days sa regional directors, at pwede kang ma-demote kapag ang regional directors ang nag-punish sa'yo. And the supervisor equivalent to a PNP regional director is the director of a PNP administrative or operational support unit, or any other officer classified as such by the commission. And let's go now to the Chief of the PNP. So, sabi dito, the Chief of PNP shall have the power to impose the disciplinary punishment of dismissal of the service. So, pwede ka matanggal sa PNP. So, suspension or forfeiture of salary, demotion, or any combination of the foregoing for a period not exceeding 180 days. So, ang sabi dito, pwede kang ma-dismiss sa serbisyo, pwede kang matanggal. So, kung hindi man madi-dismiss, yung punishment na ipapataw sa iyo ay for a period not exceeding 180 days. So, simple lang ang pinagkaiba nila. So, sa Chief of Police, for not yung na punishment na may i-impose sa iyo, ipapataw sa iyo ay for a period not exceeding 15 days. Sa provincial directors naman is for a period not existing for 30 days. At sa regional directors naman, pwede kang ma-demote at saka a period not exceeding 60 days. At saka sa last as Chief of PNP, sa Chief of PNP, pwede kang ma-dismiss sa serbisyo or ma-demote, or kung hindi naman ma-dismiss o ma-demote, yung punishment na ipapataw sa iyo ay for a period not exceeding 180 days. So in addition sa the chief of the PNP, so provided that the chief of the PNP shall have the authority to place PNP member under restrictive custody during the pendency of an administrative case for a grave or a criminal for a serious offense files against the said member. So, lahat ng mga sinabi ko kanina, simula nung sa meaning ng breach for internal discipline, makikita or mababasa nyo to sa Section 55 or Section 55 of RA 8551. So, yun lamang po.
Summary Dismissal Power. The NAPOLCOM, PNP Chief, and Regional Directors have summary dismissal power if any of the following cases. 1. When the charge is serious and the evidence of guilt is strong. 2. When the respondent is a recidivist or have been repeatedly charged and there is a reasonable ground to believe that he is guilty on the charge. And 3. When the respondent is guilty of the serious offense involving conduct upcoming of a police officer. Disciplinary Appellate Board. Formal Administrative Disciplinary Appellate Machinery of the National Police Commission. Tasked to hear case and the appeal from the different disciplinary authorities in the PNP. And composed of the following. 1 is National Appellate Board. Shall decide cases and appeal from decision rendered by the PNP Chief and the National Internal Affairs Service, and shall be composed of the 4 regular commissioner and shall be cleared by the executive officer. 2 is Regional Appellate Board. Shall decide cases and the appeal from decision rendered by the Regional Director, Province Director, Chief Officer, City and Municipal Mayor, and the PLEV. There shall be at least 1 Regional Appellate Board per administrative region.
So for today's video is I will discuss to you the Bureau of Fire Protection or the BFP created by a virtue of RA 6975. It is initially composed of the officers and uniform members of the fire service of the former Integrated National Police. And there are powers and function of BFP or the Bureau of Fire Protection. 1 is the shall be responsible for the prevention and suppression of all destructive fire on buildings, houses, and other structure, forests, land transportation, and vehicles and equipment, ships, or other dock at fires or wharves or anchored in major seaports, petroleum industry, installation, plane crashes, and other similar incidents. Sila yung nagpre-prevent para maiwasan yung mga pagkasunog sa isang building, sa mga sasakyan, sa mga bahay. Yun ang mga sila yung responsible doon. Next is the shall be responsible for the enforcement of the Fire Code of the Philippines and other similar laws. And next is shall have the power to investigate all causes of fire and if necessary file proper complaint with the city or provincial prosecutor who has jurisdiction over the case. Sila ay yung may karapatan lamang na mag-investiga kung ano yung cause ng sunog. Next is the organization and composition. Shall be headed by a chief with the rank of director to be assisted by a deputy chief with the rank of chief superintendent. Shall be composed of the provincial offices, district offices, and a city or municipal fire stations. At the provincial level, it shall have an office of the provincial fire marshal. And in case of large provinces, there shall be a district offices to be headed by a district fire marshal. At the city or municipal level, there shall be a fire station, each headed by a city or municipal fire marshal. And these are the rank classification of the Bureau of Fire Protection. The Director, Chief Superintendent, Senior Superintendent, Superintendent, Chief Inspector, Senior Inspector, Inspector, Senior Fire Officer 4, Senior Fire Officer 3, Senior Fire Officer 2, Senior Fire Officer 1, Fire Officer 3, Fire Officer 2, and last is the Fire Officer 1.
So for today's video, I'll discuss the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. BJMP is created by the virtue of Republic Act 6975. This Republic Act 6975, it is an act establishing the Philippine National Police under a reorganized Department of the Interior and Local Government and for other purposes. This act is entitled Department of the Interior and Local Government Act of 1990. So, under Section 61, entitled The Powers and Functions of the BJMP, these functions, the Jail Bureau shall be exercise supervision and control over all city and municipal jails. The provincial jails shall be supervised and controlled by the provincial government within its jurisdiction, whose expenses shall be subsidized by the national government for not more than 3 years after the effectivity of this act. So, under Section 62, it is the organization and composition of BJMP. The organization of BJMP is the Jail Bureau shall be headed by a chief who shall be assisted by a deputy chief. The Jail Bureau shall compose of city and municipal jails, each headed by a city or municipal jail warden, provided that it in the case of large cities and municipalities. A district jail with subordinate jails headed by a district jail warden may be established as necessary. The chief of the Jail Bureau shall recommended to the Secretary the organizational structure and staffing pattern of the Bureau, as well as the disciplinary machinery for officers and men of the Bureau in accordance with the guidelines set for herein and as prescribed in Section 85 of this Act. Under Section 60, this is the composition of BJMP. So, this composition is the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology composition, hereinafter referred to as the Jail Bureau, is hereby created initially consisting of officers and uniformed members of the Jail Management and Penology Service as constituted under Presidential Decree number 765. So under the rank classification of the BJMP, for purpose of efficient administration, supervision, and control, the rank classification of the members of the Jail Bureau shall be as follows: the Director, Chief Superintendent, Senior Superintendent, Superintendent, Chief Inspector, Senior Inspector, Inspector, Senior Jail Officer 4, Senior Jail Officer 3, Senior Jail Officer 2, Senior Jail Officer 1, Jail Officer 3, Jail Officer 2, and the Jail Officer 1. So let's go to the Republic Act 9263. This Republic Act is entitled the Bureau of Fire Protection and Bureau of Jail Management and Penology Professionalization Act of 2004. This act is approved on March 10, 2004, provided for the professionalization of the Bureau of Fire and Protection and Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. Republic Act 9592, it is the act that amendatory law to RA 9263. This act is approved on May 8, 2009. This Public Act also is amended the provision on the minimum educational qualification of some students.
Philippine Public Safety College. Ito ay formal na naitatag at naisaayos noong October 3, 1993. It was mandated by Section 66 of Republic Act 6975. The functions of the PPSC shall be the premier educational institution for the training, human resources, development, and continuing education of all personnel of the PNP, BJMP, and BFP. So, ang functions of the PPSC ay nabuo upang makatulong at mas mapabuti ang pagsasanay ng mga personnel upang maging effective na public servant. Through having this, they become more knowledgeable and it can improve their physical and mental abilities. The organization and composition. One is they shall be under the direct supervision of a board of trustees composed of the secretary of the DILG and the 3 bureaus heads. 2 is they shall consist of the Philippine National Police Academy, the National Police College, the Philippine National Training Institute, and other training centers as may be created. Ito ang mga iba't ibang sangay na kabilang sa PPSC kung saan ang mga ito ang tutulong upang matulungan ang mga aspiring public servant. Dito sila matututo at magsasanay upang maging epektibo at magaling na personnel. Power and functions. 1. Formulate and implement training programs for the personnel of the department. So dito, gagawa ng mga programa na makakatulong sa mga personnel in which their mental and physical abilities will improve, which will help to them to become effective personnel. Number 2, establish and maintain adequate physical training facilities. In here, they will make sure na makagawa ng mga magandang pasilidad na magagamit ng mga personnel upang mapabuti ang kanilang mga kakayahan at maisaayos ang kanilang pagsasanay ng mabuti. So with that, if they have good facilities, mas ma-enjoy silang mag-train to become personnel they can be. Number 3, to develop and implement research and development to support educational training programs. In here, makakatulong ito upang masuportahan ang educational system kung saan makikita nila kung paano pa pabubutihin ang mga programang ipinapatupad upang mas makatulong. Conduct an assessment of training needs of the bureaus. Ito naman ay isang uri ng pamamaraan upang matukoy ang kailangan ng isang pagsasanay at ang kinakailangan upang mapunan ang pagkukulang. Last, number 5, perform such other related functions as may be prescribed by the Secretary. So in here, they will also do another things na sinasabi sa kanila which will also help them to gain more knowledge.
Okay, the Philippine National Police Academy or the PNPA. So this is created for the pursuant to Section 13 on Presidential Decree number 1184. So first, the primary component of the Philippine Public Safety College or the PPSC. This is the Philippine Public Safety College System is the umbrella organization that comprises the National Police College or the NPC, the Philippine National Police Academy, the PNPA, the National Police Training Institute, the NPTI, and with its 18 regional training centers, the RTC, the National Fire Training Institute, the NFTI, the National Jail Management and Penology Training Institute, the NJMPTI, and the National Forensic Science Training Institute, the NFSTI. Next is the primary educational institution for future officers of the Philippine National Police or the PNP, Bureau of Fire Protection or BFP, and Bureau of Jail Management and Penology or the BJMP. So for the aspiring PNP, BJMP, and BFP and BJMP officers, they will undergo mandatory training and educational enhancement where they will be molded and managed to be a popular and educated from the work of their choice of field and of service. And the last is, upon completion of training, graduates will be conferred the degree of Bachelor of Science in Public Safety or the BSPS and appointed as police, fire, and jail inspector. So after the completion of the mandatory training for the future PNP, BGMP, and PNP, BFP, and BGMP officers, they will be appointed as permanent in the field of service they choose to be, and can exercise their duties and responsibilities and apply all knowledge they have gained from the training they undergone. So that's all.